Hello and welcome back. Yep, I know my last video was about too many art supplies. So, what's the most logical thing to do? Is get more. This is a really small haul. There's only a couple of things in here. And one is one I actually need, and one is something I had my eyes on for 2 or 3 years. So, yep, the exciting bag of 50 half pans. I got some I got two of these 48 pan pallets, and as you can see, there's room for a lot more half pans in here. And I got some paints that I need to fill in half pans, and I was just out of those, so now we can continue with that. That would be a video all on its own. And then, ta-da! The Faber-Castell 48 Goldfaber Aqua pencils. Um, these came out 2 or 3 years ago, and they came out in two sets. This set, which is the watercolor pencils, and then they have one that looks a lot like it, but it is regular water resistant colored pencils. And my husband wanted to give me an ugly Christmas sweater or something like that. And I said, I don't want that, but if we're gonna use that type of money, please just buy me these instead. So that's what happened. And yeah, I have been eyeing them for a couple of years, as I said. And now they're here. This is the student grade pencils. Oh, there's a, yeah, shiny. Get it sidetracked. These are their student grade uh, pencils. Um, there is no individual light fast ratings on them, but they are supposedly quite good. And this is the maximum set. That's the 48 set. You can get them in 12, 24, 36, and the 48 set. And they are if you remember back and know about Faber-Castell stuff, they had some other student grade watercolor pencils that was called Art Grip. Some places you can still get them a bit, but they have been discontinued from the company, and these came instead. Um, they are also available open stock, and that is a big yes for me in any art material that I purchase. I hate having to buy a whole set. This set was on Amazon for about 35 euros, but I have seen them up to 50 euros. So that's a lot of money to pay for a set of pencils if you run out of a few colors. But you can for a couple of euros, I think, if that much. A euro, euro and a half, maybe even. You can get them open stock. And to me, I can just go downtown and get them. I know there's a shop down there that has these pencils. So that's a bonus for me. And yeah, what else can I say? These ones are hexagonal, and I don't know how thick the core is. It's kind of an average size core. They are thin. It I'm thinking of comparing them a little bit to the Albrecht Dürer pencils, because these that's the artist grade ones, and what do I get for paying more? Well, the Albrecht Dürer, you get definitely a thicker core, you get light fast rating, and you get 120 colors to choose from. I believe the pencil is also a little thicker. Um, Whether or not the core thickness and the pencil thickness is a thing that to consider is up to each person. I prefer a thicker pencil. Some people like a thinner pencil. That's entirely individual, depending on how your hands are made or and what your preferences is. Thin pencils for me can give me a little bit of a hand cramp if I draw for a long time. I think 48 is actually a good number of colors because it gives you enough to choose from. Um, with things that is water soluble like this, and where you can mix it in easy with a a brush. I don't think you really need necessarily the 120 colors from Albrecht Dürer. It is nice, but not strictly necessary. 12 can to some people be a little bit too restricted unless you're really good at mixing colors. It can be a little bit of a challenge to get the right shade of brown, for instance, with a 12 set. So I'll pause the camera a little bit and then I will find some of the Albrecht Dürer and some paper and let's swatch and check them out. Oh, this takes up a lot of space. This is a sheet of Montval paper from Canson. It's quite okay for this purpose. It might be that the colors lift a little easier off this paper than other types of paper, but that's okay. Let's put this down here. So here's my scuffed box of Albrecht Dürer. Let's just try and grab a couple. So yes, you can see that the Goldfaber is significantly thinner, and yes, the core is also a bit thinner, but not all that much. Um, and here on the Albrecht Dürer, it's hard to tell on the camera, but there's the light fast rating right on the pencil. So if that's a thing for you, that's the pencils to get. I think I put them in here just a little random. I love these pencils. These are my favorite watercolor pencils of all times. There's lots of other good brands, but these are the ones that I like the most. And you might say, yeah, well, you haven't used them, but I really have, and a little goes a long way. So let's take a couple of them. I don't want to compare them straight up all colors. A couple should be just enough because it's not the Albrecht Dürer it's all about. I should actually make maybe a video about those. So, and the thing I was a little excited about here that I got sidetracked is that there is the color numbers and the names is here. There's no name on the pencils. There's just the color number here on the end. The color numbers from faber-castell, I am quite sure is the same number for the same color across the board of their products. So that is kind of cool. And here's which colors is in which set. So here's the 12 set, the 24 set, the 36, and the 48. So let's just see what they say about these. The Goldfaber Aqua is available in 48 bright and ultra light fast colors that are fully soluble, water soluble. 3.3 millimeter lead is glued into the wood, making it extremely break-proof. The hexagonal pencil is varnished with a environmentally friendly water-based varnish. Okay, so they say it's extremely light fast. If that's the case, why not provide us with a light fast ratings? And there's some more about their stuff. Okay, interesting. Can I fit? I'll save these for later. See if I can fit everything in my camera view here. So I'll find some music and then I'll swatch them and wet them. I'll do kind of a dry and wet swatch, but I don't think I have enough to say to go through 48 pencils, and I can speed it up so it won't take that long to watch. So that was that part. And now I can tell you a little more about what you do and do not get compared to the Albrecht Dürer. They are on the laydown, they are a little harder than the Albrecht Dürer. The Albrecht Dürer is really soft, but not so hard that it feels unpleasant and it doesn't feel scratchy, except for the silver that was super scratchy and the gold was also kind of scratchy. They feel fairly the same between colors on the laydown. There's some that is a little softer and some is a little harder, but they're fairly even in the laydown. The Albrecht Dürer feels more even throughout the set, but still it's really in the small nitpicking differences when it comes to that. The hardness is the most noticeable. And then I made a little bit of a comparison swatch down here. Now, only the yellow was the same between the two set. I picked an Indanthrane blue out of the Albrecht Dürer, and there is no such thing in here. So I think it's possibly a ultramarine blue. We can look it up. 151. No, helio blue reddish. Yeah, so it's a phthalo blue. But anyways, and the red was 121. That is a pale geranium lake, and this one was a deep red, the Albrecht Dürer. And the yellow was 108, dark cadmium yellow. Could have read it on it. So, but it doesn't matter. So even though the result mixing results is not the same, it is because of different pigments. But especially in the mixes where I layered up kind of thickly, and I tried to do the same kind of thickness in both, you get way more pigment in the Albrecht Dürer than you get in the in the Goldfaber, and that's fair enough. This is a way cheaper set than the Albrecht Dürer, but you can definitely work with these, and some might even prefer a lighter pigment load because you get a little bit more of you easily get a paler and that transparent watercolor look from probably from the Goldfabers. I have seen people compare them and say, "Oh, there's basically no difference," but there is, and I can feel and I can see the difference. And it's not that I think that the Goldfaber is bad. It is just that I can tell that there is a little bit of a quality difference between those and the much more expensive Albrecht Dürer. And there should be. It shouldn't be that, oh, just buy the Goldfaber because you get the same anyways. That would be a really, really weird strategy of the company if they did that. So of course there has to be a quality difference between your top notch and your student grade stuff. Um, so my first impression of these are quite good. I I want to finish an artwork before I kind of have my final say because it is in the layering and the mixing that the truth really comes out. I have tried different pencils where the swatching and the little mixing tests went brilliant on the just the first swatch and test, but then when I got to working with them, it was more like, oh my goodness, how bad is this? And it was impossible to work with, and it doesn't necessarily show in the first little tests. It is when you really push them with the layering and mixing and the detailing that it shows what they really are. But my first-hand impression is quite positive. There is, if I have anything that I find odd in this set, it is a color choice, or two color choices. I have no idea why they put the gold and silver in a small set like this. I don't even understand why they put three metallic colors in the 120 set either. That is really beyond me because they're scratchy, they're weird, and only in the dry form is there some metallic sheen to them. That it's not all dry. I really don't get that. I would maybe rather have had a like a burned umber brown instead of one of those, and maybe a really dark green, something like that, or a couple of extra browns. It's a little light on the browns, but not something that can't be fixed by mixing. That's the, but that's the negative I have to say this at this moment is why the metallics. So thank you for watching this. I will definitely be making a video with these, and I'll make another video with, or probably more than one video. I need to finish up my palettes. And yeah, I know. I still got my own challenge to do this week too, so I'll be busy, and I'll see you later. Take care. Bye bye.